Welcome to Brain Vision.
For problem 42.46, we are to take an example of a hydrogen fluoride molecule, like is talked about earlier in the chapter in the bridging problem, and take it to have a deuterium instead of a hydrogen. So deuterium, of course, has a little bit more mass on account of having a neutron in there. So it's going to certainly change the structure of the molecule and some of its properties. Specifically, we are asked to find what is the vibrational frequency of this new system. So to figure this out, we have to think back to the formula for the vibrational frequency, which is simply the square root of the force constant K prime on top of the reduced mass of the system. And the reduced mass, if you recall, is mass 1. So let's say mass of the deuterium times mass 2, which could be the mass of fluorine here, all on the addition of the two. So if our force constant is going to stay the same throughout, then what we need to do is go up to the problem before, earlier in the book, and figure out what this force constant is. So if we rearrange some things, we get that our force constant is going to be equal to the reduced mass times the vibrational frequency. And if we use the vibrational frequency from just a bit ago, or we look and find what this force constant is from earlier in the book, it's 24.39 kilogram second squared. But this doesn't change because it only depends on the electron configuration, which is exactly the same between this deuterium fluoride and hydrogen fluoride. So we can put this right back in here, but with our new M of R that's calculated here. So to write it again, now we want to find the frequency, which is the square root of K prime, which we just calculated, and M of R, which we can calculate since the problem gives us the mass of the deuterium, and we had the mass of the fluorine from before. And in hertz, this is 8.9 9 to 3 significant figures times 10 to the 13 hertz. All right, that's great. So that is part A solved, actually. So put a little check next there. But part B wants us to look at the wavelength of light that corresponds to the energy difference in vibrational states. So if you go from a vibrational level in 1, if you go from a vibrational level in 1, and let's say you go down to n equals 0, so you emit a photon because of this, your change in energy is given by the h bar omega, which I'll put D for deuterium here, that we've seen over and over again in this chapter. And this omega is, of course, just what we calculated in h bar we have. So if you calculate the energy of this transition, it's 59.2 millielectron volts. And since it wants a photon, all we have to do is go back to our tried and true formula here for the wavelength and simply plug in our energy to get a wavelength of 21.0 micrometers to 3 significant digits. It's actually 20.96, but we'll leave it like this. And then finally it asks what region of the spectrum this is in. If you think back, if we're in micrometers, that means thousands of nanometers. So we are firmly in the deep infrared region here, because a photon with this particular wavelength is extremely red.